All right, guys, my research on Texit Coin has come to an end, and it's time to share some of this information with you guys. Quite interesting because they almost got me, guys. I almost joined. But let's get into it. Hey, I'm going to go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, is this an investment for some people? Yes, it might be. Is it not for others? It might be. But check out this video and find out for yourself. So, at one point in doing my research that I had not yet really delved into, I discovered something this morning, and it was just this morning, guys. And I have to give a shout out to Terrence. So he left a comment, and all he said was, "Let's go, bro," on this video here. When I was soliciting you guys to come out to sponsor me, so I'll know who to sign up under in Texit Coin. But I go check out his profile, and I'm gonna view his channel real quick. And this is a cool brother. I checked out other aspects of his of his Facebook. Check out what he's about. Very cool brother indeed. And I like the fact that he was showcasing in his videos exactly what's going on with Texas Coin. So when he shows what's happening
What's
here,
going
and I
on,
want
beautiful
you
people?
guys to see this. Let's kind of fast forward a little bit. Where is it? Okay, yeah, he was showing some of these numbers here. And that's what got me this morning, guys, because I was thinking that Texas Coin was kicking out better returns than was being displayed here, right? But um, this is kicking out about 3.2, let's say about 3 Coin a day. Okay. Let that sink in because right now the price of Texas Coin is about $5. So that's about $15 a day. And that's what I was rolling with, guys. I'm like, okay, that's decent for $1,000 deposit, right? If I come out and I put in $1,000 and buy a miner. Well, I checked out the hash power here, and it looks like he's getting 4 mega hash. Um, that's kicking out that three. That means if I was to go out and spend $1,000, I would only have 1 mega hash, meaning what? I'd be clocking in less than one Texas coin a day. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Texas Coin, right? I'm just because the numbers I ran once I saw this, I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. One Texas Coin for uh one hash, 100 hash. Let's go ahead and say that, even though we know it's less than one, let's assume it's just one, guys. And if we do that, that means it's going to take us about 10 months to get a return on our investment. That was not pleasing to me, right? So I had to actually readjust my assessment and rewrite it, and I have listed it here, guys, in a forum post. So I will be leaving a link to this post in the description of this video for you guys to see. But if you come out to the forum, I did put it under altcoins because Texas Coin is technically an altcoin. I mean, they mint it, create their own token on its own blockchain, right? And here it is here, guys. Texit Coin, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And, I don't just come into a project just to bash it. I'm looking for what's good because if it's good, I want to invest in it. And if it's not good, of course, I move on. But in this case, I had to do so much research. It's like, hey, since I'm doing the research anyway, let me pass this information on to you guys. So you will see that here. Now, for those of you guys that don't read and the rest of this video, I'm just going to read through this quickly for you. So if you riding down the car and you're thinking about Texas Coin or chilling at work, bored, got your headphones on or something like that, just enjoy the read. And there's going to be some information in here, guys, that might um, wake you up. So I don't know if you're currently in Texit Coin or interested in Texit Coin, but hopefully this information will just add to your research. Okay, so I talk about the good, I talk about the bad, then we're going to talk about the ugly. So let's go ahead and get into this real quickly. Now, there are some good aspects of Texas Coin, which I really, really, really like, guys. And this is why I was actually going to put a little in. And I was actually going to do a larger amount and use a certain strategy to max out my returns or whatever the case is. But the more I did and see how it's paying out, it's like I'm really on the fence now. So let's go ahead and get into this read. Okay, the good. It's only a one-time fee. Okay, um, a single investment in Texas coin mining has the potential to produce a stream of income for many months, for as long as Texas coin lasts. Who knows how long that is, though, guys? I ain't willing to wait 10 months on it, though, right? So there is potential to earn in the product if the protocol performs sufficiently after recouping your investment. Second thing I like about it is the TXC price action. So the token is actually up right now, guys. So the price of TXC, Texas Coin's native token, is trending upward with healthy market corrections. With the current price hovering around at the $5 level, the token's price has already exceeded the estimated forecast of $2.75 for the month of September. We're at the end of September now, and that's according to this document here. You guys can click on it and go there if you want to, because this is the forecast that they laid out. I like the fact that they're saving up some liquidity for each one of these months. They've shown in their wallets that they are sitting on $3 million, but the price is still hovering at almost double that, right? So in that sense, it's really good. I like that. Furthermore, it's worth mentioning that liquidity is being allocated to help support the TXE price as defined in this document here. And considering that the price is holding at nearly double of what was forecasted and that none of the allocated liquidity has been used, there is an indication of a small level of interest in the open market with an emphasis on small. So we're not talking about millions of dollars in trading volume, right, guys? We're just talking about maybe 200,000, 600,000 or something like that, within that range. Okay, so it's not all that, but it is um, some interest in trading out there. Also, as a side note, a recent article has been released suggesting that the price of Texit coin can be as much as $80 by February the 26th. Now, this is interesting, guys, because they initially shot a goal of $16 by February, and that went up to 80. Now, where they gave the guidelines to this article here, they did not give the guidelines here. They're just using metrics from other blockchains, which you cannot do, right? Because this is a different project in and of itself. You cannot use the same numbers of somebody else and suggest that you're going to be at $80 by February. However, they are getting on other blockchains, other trading platforms, and word is getting out, and they're selling these things like hotcakes through their multi-level marketing strategies. So, is it possible? Well, it could be. Likely, I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna be hitting $80 by that time. But hey, if they do, kudos to them, and I may or may not be a participant. All right. The next benefit, the next good is long-term earning potential. At the current price, initial investment in Texas coin mining can be recouped in about 10 months, and less than that if strategic growth initiatives are implemented. So you pretty much, if you want to really make money, get a faster return on investment, you have to recruit people with this thing, guys. And um, how many of us really are into that? Right? You got small groups of people, influencers, um, marketers, you know, they go out and do those things, but the vast majority of us, we don't do that, right? So for us, we are strictly investors and we want to see some returns, but 10 months, uh, not too interesting, okay? Moderately affordable, but relatively high cost of entry. There are many other projects that you can get in, right, that are less than $1,000. This right here requires a minimum of $995. And they're targeting who they target, however they target, and that's working for them, right? So, you know, some of you guys are buying into it, but I encourage you, if you're going to these seminars and meetups and things like that, continue to do your research, right? Find out not just what they're saying and not just the questions that are being answered in those areas, but dig deeper so that you really know what's going on. And we're going to get into that when we start hitting the bad, okay? All right. And I can say that they do have a legitimate multi-level marketing program, okay? So I've provided a link here, guys, that it's a law office that kind of gives a description on what Ponzi's are, what pyramid schemes are, and what legitimate multi-level marketing strategies are, right? And if you actually look into Texit Coin's compensation plan, you will find that this is not a Ponzi pyramid scheme nor um, scam, right? It is a legitimate, or as far as legality is concerned, it is a legitimate structure that has been set up. So for that, you know, I applaud them. And, you know, as I reviewed it, I can also say that it is fair and balanced for you guys that are participating in that. But the key thing is that you have to put in the work. Guys, this is not like the type of investment that you put your money in and you can walk away happy in a couple weeks or a month or something like that. Because if you really want to see the gains, it's like a job. You're gonna have to work this thing, guys, and that's not something that I'm really interested in doing. I'll do something to help us as a community to to build, but to work for another company that is not mine, I am not interested. Okay, so here comes the bad. Let's jump into it. On the real, I could write a book on this, but TLDR, there's a very real and present risk of losing some or all of your investment in Texit Coin. And since this section is talking about the bad, I'll highlight some key issues that may help stimulate the understanding of those that think critically and choose to follow logic rather than hype. Some of you guys may have never heard of Mista Phi, some of you have, but I am very big on understanding the things that I invest in, and it's your money, right? And you guys should be putting in that same level of research and understanding to find out what it is so you don't get screwed, because over 90% of everything in crypto is a scam or someone trying to get over on you, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and hit these key points. First point, I've already hinted to above. It can take up to 10 months to recoup an investment in mining TXC. That's supposed to be X, or yeah, TXC. Um, that's a long time to lock up your money, and the only way to speed up your returns is by recruiting others, or if the price of the coin increases. Now, if the price of coin increases to $80 by February, hey, some of you guys are going to be looking good and you're going to recoup your investment a lot faster, right? So prayerfully, that works out for you. And who knows, like I say, I still may come in. I don't know. So participants in TXC mining will either be investors that have to wait a long period of time to ROI, or they will serve as employees that work for compensation from recruiting or commission from recruiting. This is an excellent money-making strategy for the founder, Bobby Gray, or Rob Gray, or Robert Gray, whatever his name is, but not so much for most of the mining participants. I hope this triggers for some of you guys, because you guys are dropping a minimum $1,000 into this system for you to go to work. This guy is taking your money and saying, now get to work to send somebody else to me, right? And you got to wait 10 months to get your money back. Tell me, if you go into a job, knock on the door and say, hey, you guys are hiring, they'd be like, yeah, give me $1,000 and then you can work for me. That is what is happening here, guys. Stop and think about that for a minute. All right, let's continue. Slow and low quality customer support. Now, this is something I've already experienced, guys. I haven't even joined yet, and I am experiencing very long wait times, and the responses that I'm getting back are lackluster. Uh, they'll either refer you to another link, say this isn't our department, or just not answer your question altogether, right? So um, I've stopped inquiring. So, I just continue to do my own research, and I'll continue to dig on on a few other things, but their customer service sucks. And if this system is making so much money, they really need to spend some money on customer service. How are you guys going to onboard people and people don't know what it is that they're getting into, and they have questions on how to get into the protocol and things like that? I mean, they could have outsourced this to the Philippines or Thailand or something like that. At least you're going to be talking to somebody within an hour or so. But with this, you waiting days, and if you get a response at all, right? So I can say that I've already experienced this very poor customer support. Okay. Next, the founder can rug the project at any time. It would be foolish to do so now. And I say that because it's bringing in so much money. So many people keep investing in it right there. It's like a money train. Nobody's going to run away from a money train, right? But whenever he chooses, he can disguise a rug pull as a hack or put the blame on market manipulation, regulatory issues, natural disasters, or any other excuse that blind followers would believe. So if you guys aren't doing your research, if you're following this guy blindly, or if you're following your favorite influencer blindly, not asking the tough questions, not doing things to stimulate your thinking on what could happen for you to lose your money in this venture, then you are a blind follower and you may end up getting burned in the end. Okay. I hope that doesn't happen, but I'm just here to say, hey, do your own research. Next, the founder and or whales can dump their TXC tokens on the market and permanently tank the price at any given time. Remember that there are millions of Texit coins sitting in the hands of a small group of people, and you watching this video or reading this post are likely part of the 90% that owns less than 5% of the total circulating supply. So check this, guys. I saw a clip that Bobby Gray recently did in a video, and he said the early participants, they agreed, they made a pledge not to sell 63,000, 63.5 thousand, some numbers in the tens of thousands, not to sell 60 something thousand Texit coins at a price of $1 or less. That was their pledge, guys. All right, because they did not want to tank the system. Now, that's a lot of Texit coin. How many people does it belong to? I don't know, but that's just tens of thousands. There are millions in circulation, guys, millions, right? So consider what could happen if they dump that token, right? It's going to crash. All right. Next, Texit Coin's message of how the price of a coin rises based on the amount of hash power used is flawed. I don't know if Bobby Gray really believes that because he's seen the stats on other program platforms and stuff like that. And as I say here, there is a correlation between the two. But if he really believes that, he does not know enough about crypto, then he lets off the beat. And if he does realize that and is just trying to pull the wool over you guys' eyes, then that's bad as well because he's trying to deceive you into believing that you have to have all of this hash power in order for the price of a token or currency, crypto, to go up. That simply is not the case. And rather than elaborate on that or explain it, if someone comes out here and be like, yeah, it is, it does prove it, then we'll get into that conversation. But ultimately, that is for, excuse me, that is for decentralized blockchains, guys, because people are competing. They're paying for miners to mine a token. And in order for that competition to remain, there has to be justification for the price to increase, right? If the price decreases, well, people are going to stop running and running their mines and competing for that token. That's where that correlation comes from. This does not come from um, a blockchain that is centralized, where only one person or one entity is mining the coin. I mean, there's no competition there. You can run one miner. You don't have to have thousands of miners buying all these nodes or miners that you're talking about. That's not even necessary for Texit Coin. I don't get it, man. I mean, I don't know what this guy is spilling to you, but that is so off track, guys. Do your research. I'm just saying, do your research. If you don't believe Mista Phi, learn Bitcoin first and foremost. Don't even invest in anything else. Learn Bitcoin, learn from there about other cryptos, and then everything will start making sense to you. And when they come out making statements like this, you're going to be like, man, these jokers have no clue on what they're talking about. Okay, so be aware of that, guys. And then I say, let's see, the price of the token moves on market sentiment and market manipulation. Okay, so and that's what's going on now, guys. I mean, they're selling the miners, they're funding the token. There's a particular market interest in the token and things like that. So this is what moves the price, guys. It is not the hash power. Okay, so I just want to clarify that. Next, let's see, TXC mining is completely centralized, which I just mentioned here, but let's get into it. Meaning that an attack or natural disaster could shut the project down in an instant. If they tell you that the project is decentralized in its current state, they're either lying to you or don't understand what true decentralization is. Bitcoin is a centralized blockchain. Texit Coin is not, guys. It is not decentralized when you have one organization controlling all of the mining of that cryptocurrency. Okay, they can do with that whatever they want to. They can even roll the blockchain back if they wanted to, right? All right, next, Texit Coin is and will always be a shit coin. And I mean this in the true sense of the word. Now, you know, guys, I don't use profanity, guys, but that is a term in the cryptocurrency space that really speaks on what a token is. And this is shitcoin. Why? Because there's nothing new or innovative about the technology in and of itself. It is a copy of Lightchain, nothing more. But what makes it worse is that it is centralized. And this, while he's hyping up saying, hey, we're going to get this mine up and going, and then people are going to build on it. No intelligent developer is going to build on a blockchain that's centralized. This is similar to that Titan X project. Who would want to build on something that's built on something else? You know, you have too many dependencies there, right? Too many things that could crash the blockchain or the token or the system, right? Any intelligent developer will run away from this. Therefore, there will be no use case, no long-term use case for Texit Coin. Right now, the use case, hey, it's a speculative asset that is being traded. Okay. Next, there are better investment opportunities available. All right, let's get into this. Investors in TXC mining would be better off buying, holding, and accumulating what? The major cryptocurrency that there is, guys, Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a proven track record of long-term price appreciation. Texit Coin does not. It's only been around for a little over a year or something, right? Furthermore, history proves Bitcoin's security, reliability, resilience, and progressive adoption across the globe. Now, Bitcoin hasn't paid multi-level marketing and given these rewards to people for going out and advertising, yet it grows. And Bitcoin grows because people learn it. Okay? People, once they learn Bitcoin, they begin understanding Bitcoin and they value Bitcoin as a storage of value and a way to transact easily and safely, not worrying if the cryptocurrency that they're investing in is going to eventually plummet to zero. In contrast, guys, Texit Coin's blockchain is restrictive, controlled, and can in no way compare nor compete with Bitcoin. It just can't, guys. So when I hear these Texit coiners or miners or rangers talking about how it's the next Bitcoin and how it's going to compete with Bitcoin and all this type of stuff, no, that it ain't even going to compete with Solana or Ethereum or any of the lower level blockchains, let alone Bitcoin. Okay. Now, as an investor, it's better to devise a simple and cost effective strategy to progressively accumulate assets that will, number one, be around for the years to come, and number two, appreciate in value in the long run. Okay. Despite what promoters of Texas Coin say, TXC mining will not produce wealth that will be passed on to the next generation. So if you haven't heard it from anyone else, you're about to hear from me. Per my sincere and unbiased assessment, and like I'm saying, guys, I ain't out here just trying to bash projects. I call it as I see it. Texit Coin will either be valueless or non-existent within the next 2 years. Right now, if you're in it, do you have the possibility to make money? Sure. You take that money, you convert it into Bitcoin, and you sit on that Bitcoin. There is money to be made, possibly, but again, there's a risk. And is this the type of risk you want to take? Do you want to have your money locked up for 10 months or more? I don't. That is like, I mean, even it's just $1,000, I might throw it out there because it's really not that much just to see how things play out over the course of time. But, like I say, I'm really on the fence, right? All right. What else? The SEC could classify TXC as a security, shut down the project, and or confiscate user funds. Consider what happened to Liberty Reserve. If you're not familiar with that, Google it, look it up on Chat GPT or something like that. But the investors never got their money back. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, guys, people like that are at the top, like Bobby Gray, projects like this, they're taking that money out of Texas Coin, putting it into other real assets like real estate, Bitcoin, other things like that. So, and they're storing it away. So after they spend their jail time, they can come out and and still sit on some money through the cryptos. Okay, so um, this is a possibility, guys. This is a possibility. Okay, so the next thing, the founder has somewhat of a checkered past with an online history shrouded in suspicion and a reputation of screwing others over when things don't go well. Links to Bobby Gray are listed below so you can assess the man's character and capabilities for yourself. So in this section, I'm not saying neither good nor bad. I'm just making a reference to these links down here. Okay, so I'll let you guys look at that and judge for yourselves. My personal take on Bobby, well, here it is. Based on what I've seen and read online thus far, can't say that I'm a fan. One thing I will say is that Bobby Gray and his cohorts are in the game to walk away with huge profits, and they have very little concern or no concern about the financial well-being of their investors. This is 99.99% of people that launch projects or do videos or whatever the case is, guys. This is the space. This is the reality, okay? And that's why I do what I do, all right? When considering Bobby as the founder slash CEO, here's my perspective and take on that. I say that he can do a much better job of addressing some of the issues listed above to better secure the mining facilities, to increase decentralization, and ensure that all regulatory requirements are in place as needed. He's investing a lot of time, money, resources into promoting a project. But what good are these promotions going to be if the project gets rugged? What good is it going to be if it gets flagged by the SEC? What good is it if it's shut down? It's not going to be good for us as investors. It's going to be good for Bobby, who's cashing out every single day. So every penny you make, trust me, guys, he's making dollars, okay, if not thousands of dollars. All right. I also see a gross mismanagement in the capital received from TXC mining purchases. Such resources could be used to shorten the excessive 10-month return on investment period. But as it is with other controlled money like the US dollar, the bulk of the resources, Texit Coin in this sense, are allocated to the few while the vast majority compete over the scraps. Okay. That's how it is, guys. I'm sorry. But hopefully this gives you a mindset to look at Texit Coin in a different light outside of the hype that you're getting from these multi-level marketing strategies that they have put in place. Okay. So they say promote it, promote it, promote it, get it, promote it, get it, promote it, get it, promote it. Now, why don't you give it to me and then let me promote it, right? Give me something to go on. I'm not going to pay you to promote your project, right? And here are the links, guys. You guys can come out here, click on some of these links, or just do some research online for yourself under Bobby. And there's been talk about this guy here too, whose name is Joby or something like that. I don't care if someone did tax evasion or even sold, unlicensed securities. They ain't. I mean, people do what they do, right? Some people might not have been aware of it at the time, right? Understanding the SEC requirements, but you know, things happen, and but I did. Well, yeah, I ain't even gonna say nothing because I don't know enough information about any of these guys to bash them. I know Roger Ver is they need to release whatever um, junctions or laws or whatever case it is they have against him. I mean, let that man ride around freely and stuff. He ain't do nothing. But anyway, those are the links. And then ask the question again: will I be signing up for a TXC mining? I'm still on the fence about this, guys. Yeah, I'll just be watching it over the next month or so, just to watch to see what the price action is doing, to see if there is a possibility of the price shooting up to $80 um, by February or something like that. Because if it is, that might pique my interest a little bit more because I do want to get a return on my investment as soon as possible, and I ain't trying to wait no 10 months to do that, right? While I like the concept of the one-time payment, a 10-month return on investment period is beyond excessive. However, based on the compensation plan devised for Texit Coin, I have come up with a concept of an auto referral system where new and existing miners can put part of their team building on autopilot. So some of you guys that followed me back from the drip days or whatever case is, you may remember the team drip, how that system was created to automate the referral so we can kind of put control back in the hands of the people as opposed to Ray of the Bartown conglomerate and the other people that were exploiting the system and taking all of the resources out of it, right? So this will be something to help you guys that are not um, capable or have difficulties onboarding new people. And, we essentially push something to where you would get your link would get exposure to other people. And therefore, you'll be able to get signups because the way this Texit system is, it pretty much requires you, if you want to really earn some more hash to get more Texit coin or whatever the case is, or get those bonuses, you have to work for them. Okay. And like you guys know, I'm not working for anybody. I work for you guys. You know, I put in the time, sweat, and effort that you guys will be able to benefit from it, but I'm not going to do it for a company that's trying to scam you guys out of your money anyway. All right. Now that I've given, now that you've gotten more of the real deal about Texit Coin, um, you can ask questions and make better investment decisions. Or continue living in echo chambers and blindly following your favorite influencer who probably understands less than half of what you do. Right? I guarantee you guys this is a good statement. Some of you guys out there just dumb, right? And I mean I know it because I was back there in the drip days, and I know some of you DeFi guys are probably looking at this project. So I know that there are a batch of dumb ones out there, but many of you guys are have some type of understanding and are willing to do some research. So here it is. Again, I'll leave a link to this in the video description below, and you can have at it, check out the links that are provided here, and continue to do the research for yourself. All right, guys, that's all I got for you in this video, and we will holler on the next one. Peace out.